Hey guys, it's Cool P back with part 2 of my Sunday grind. And you guys just saw me get really short in this satellite. I'm not done, definitely not done, but my chances are much smaller than they were before that last hand. So let's see if I can come back and get a satellite to the high roller. So this guy should definitely call. Oh wow, that's not good. Pair the board. Nope. Well, that's too bad. Everybody else is probably pretty happy. So I bubbled the satellite, which is not very fun. I made money on it, but lost out on $140 of getting a satellite ticket. So I probably will not be playing the high roller today, unfortunately. Which is no good because I like that tournament, but I don't want to. Actually, there's another satellite going on right now. Do I want to play that, or do I want to play? I'll play this one. Oh, actually, let me check Bodog, see if they have anything I like. Sorry, I know it's thrilling listening to me decide what next tournament I want to play in. Pay a little bit of attention while I'm looking at the tournaments. And so I'm going to play a Super Turbo on Bodog that starts in 15 minutes. Why am I playing that? Because I kind of like that tournament, and actually I want to play more on Bodog because I cashed in all my poker points and I have to unlock them before I can withdraw them, and because Bodog is shutting down to US players on the 1st of, or the 31st of December or the 1st of January, basically next year, I think I have to unlock all of the money that I unlocked. I have to, or all the bonus points that I redeemed for cash, I have to unlock before I'm able to withdraw it, I would assume. I don't know if Bodog's going to do it that way or not, but hopefully I'll be able to unlock it all and get all my cash out by the time they shut down, which is no good because honestly the only sites I play on right now are Lock and Bodog, and Bodog's probably 20 to 30% of my tournaments, so it's not really good when you can't play 20 to 30% of your tournaments anymore. Well, especially missed the Bodog 100K and a couple other tournaments I like. Although I've been playing Bodog a lot the last year, a lot more so in the beginning of the year, I haven't really had a lot of success there. I did get second in the 100K a long time ago, which was really nice. It was a 13K score, which is by far my best I've ever had. But I mean, I just have really, whenever I've made a lot of money on Bodog, the next month I usually just donate it all back, it feels like, and I can never get a consistent run going. It's been really frustrating, actually, the amount of time I put into it and the lack of return I've gotten. Sorry for my pauses, I'm eating some food to keep myself going because it's 6 o'clock and I haven't eaten all that much today. That's one thing I've never quite figured out how to do really well, is to eat while I'm playing lots of tournaments. You don't get a lot of time to make food because you get 5-minute breaks, and yeah, I've never quite figured out the best way to do that, so. I would enjoy tips if anybody has them. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna ship it. I don't love that play, but if I get 3-bet, I can't really do anything. I have 22 odd big blinds. I think this is okay. I don't love that play, but I feel like the odds are slightly in my favor right there to do that. The amount of times they're going to wake up with a better pair than me and call me, because they will often fold 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s. So the amount of times they're going to fold, or I mean the amount of times they're going to have a better pair than me and call me, are not going to make up for the amount of times they're both going to fold, and I'm going to take down the just the blinds and antes, and you know, the slight advantage I have when they call with ace king, even though I don't want that to happen because I don't like that variance. Technically, I'm gaining chips by going all in that situation. So, I'm doing pretty well in this tournament, I guess. I mean, it's a huge tournament. 236 left, 117 remaining. I did get a really lucky 2-outer, but that was right after I got a really unlucky 2-outer. So in my mind, I'll just say I'm breaking even with that. I would have rather have it happen the other way, where I didn't suck out and the second hand just wasn't necessary and ended up in the same spot, but happened how it happened. And I mean, another thing with those 3s, when if someone calls me with 8s or something like that, it's not like I'm dead. It's not a situation I ever want to get myself into, but you know, I'm getting all in with a healthy stack instead of getting all in with a horrible stack. And yeah, I don't have a great percentage to win, but if I get lucky a couple times in those spots, you can get a huge stack going. So that's one of the secrets, I think, of some of the really good players is, you know, they push really small edges a lot, and so occasionally they'll end up in really bad spots but with lots of chips on at stake, and you never want to get yourself into that, but they push a small edge, they happen to be wrong, or happen to be a time when the other person woke up with something, which is never good. This is a weird spot. I really hate this spot, actually. Oh my gosh. I am such a nit. I am such a nit. I hate that fold, but I don't know how else to play it. Yeah, I'm folding because I really just don't know what other play is really going to give me an advantage. So, because I hate calling right there. With so many people after me, I hate calling. But I don't like 3-betting either right there. I think folding is the wrong play, but when I didn't know what play to make that gave me an advantage, I just decided to get out of the way. You know, I played really nitty right there, but I didn't put myself in a spot where I didn't know how to act, so I guess I can say that, take that out of it. Here, I definitely gotta fold. I mean, I probably should have just been willing to go all in with it, but I feel like that puts me at a disadvantage. I don't have a very loose image, so if someone's playing back at me, I feel like we probably have something pretty good. And actually have a very tight image probably, other than to this guy. And you know, I 3-bet him there, basically committing myself, so I might as well shove it. But then I'm leaving myself really vulnerable to everybody behind me, and I really have no idea what this guy has, and he raised in regularly positioned. Now just taking down that raise would have been really nice. Man, that's a close one, because jacks I probably go and nines I probably fold fairly easily. But tens is just like, I'm so in between. I don't really like this either. I just, those raises from position, whenever I try to mess around with them, they just give me into so much trouble. When I try to mess around with people who are raising from early. And that's really what made me want to fold to this guy is, he raised from second position, so his range is pretty tight. So how much of his range do I really beat? Not a lot. Now strangely here, I'm willing to go all in. I'm even willing to go all in right now, because I feel like there's so many chips to win and I have a pretty strong hand, and I don't think these guys necessarily have something huge because of where they're raising from. But when this guy raised 3x from second position, it just seemed like a really weird play that I didn't really want to mess around with that badly. But maybe I should have, because I didn't really get myself into a better spot. Wow. That's great. I still don't really think that was a horrible play. I mean, I feel like he's going to fold that a lot there, at least most people would. So, oh well. Now I'm wishing I went with those tens, because the reason I folded was because I was thinking I can find a better spot than this, but I found about the worst spot I could have gotten myself into. So it's embarrassing a little. Well, I guess it's not embarrassing. It's just I feel like I played wrong because of that, but I don't know if that means I did. That's thinking about it very results orientedly. I said that really weird, but whatever. Yeah, I'll make a continuation bet. There's a lot of overcards you can have that he's not going to want to go along with anymore. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just felt like it was right to continuation bet when, you know, queen jack, ace jack, king jack, hands without a jack that are still just 2 overcards. A lot of those he's just gonna fold. And I don't know how many of those were in his range, but probably a few of them. I think one thing that really separates me from some of the top level online players, in a bad way separates me, is they can really narrow people's ranges down with just 1 or 2 plays. You know, 1 or 2 moves that they make, they can get a pretty good feel of where the guy's at with what types of hands. Me, I always think way too much about that. Well, he could have this hand, and this hand is technically possible, and I've seen people play it like this before, and I cloud my mind so much with those kind of hands, I don't go with the most likely scenarios. So I really get in my own mind of thinking, well, there's such a broad range I could still have that I don't really know what the right play is. In reality, he only has 1 hand, and the types of hands he would play like that is usually pretty small. So I need to work on getting more concrete about what type of hands people are raising with from, you know, 4th position, and with these kind of blinds and these stack sizes and stuff like that, and I can go like, well, it seems like a, you know, a situation where you'd raise, you know, ace, king to ace, you know, 9-ish, and then, you know, king, queen, and king, jack maybe, and probably want to be raising suited connections. You know, like, I'm not good at really figuring that stuff out until later in the hand usually, and by that time it's often too late, or I've wasted 2 more bets than I needed to waste, or you know, you can do so much better if you can nail down concrete ranges way quicker, which is what I think some of the better players are way better at than I am. Well, it's not the only thing the best players are better at than me, but I think it's probably one of the biggest things. Another small tournament I can play. So I think I'm out of all my really big tournaments, which is kind of sad now. Yeah. This is the biggest one. Well, I guess this one's bigger. Except I got knocked out of it a long time ago and I didn't realize. That happens to me a lot on Lock for some reason. Oh, I guess I lost with my Jack 10 when I went up against Jack 8 and I never saw it. Yeah, so I guess this is the biggest tournament I'm still in, which is kind of too bad. It's not even that big a tournament. I'll keep playing. I might only do 2 or 3 videos. I mean, they're hour-long videos, so that's still a lot. Maybe I'll just do 2, I don't know. And I might not record the end of my day, just because, you know, sometimes I feel like I've done enough recording and it's a little bit more exhausting than just playing. I think it helps me, but it takes more effort and more focus, and it's one of the reasons why I like it, because it makes me really focus on what's going on. But you know, sometimes I just get tired of doing it and I just gotta get rid of it for a while. Start just playing. I feel like that kind of crushed his range of calling me. Just gonna kind of concede the pot for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of like ace hands he could have, although like ace 8, ace 9. But, I mean, it's a weird position for me to ever be good in, other than like an ace 8. And then why would he bet an ace 8 right there unless he has ace of diamonds, which is probably the only situation I'm in, but he has so many outs anyways. It's like, why even mess around? I think in that situation, the only thing I'm hoping for is he doesn't have a diamond somehow, which is possible, I guess, but he almost definitely has a pair then. So he doesn't have a diamond, and I have to hit my diamond and win with a diamond flush by 4, taking it. Yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, because I don't think I'm going to call a shove here, so I can just raise. So the reason I'm betting 200 here is so I hope he makes a really small raise and I go over the top all in. I also force him, and I also can get him to fold too. So that's actually another reason why I made that small bet, but I didn't really say it out loud. I do that a lot actually. I've noticed. I'll realize I have a reason for doing something and I don't really say it until, not that it comes to fruition, but I don't really say it until my mind has processed it a little bit later and goes, yeah, that was another reason why this play was what was going through my mind. And there's a lot of things going through my mind when I'm playing poker, so sometimes it's hard to get it all out really quickly while the situation is going on. I usually think faster than I can talk when I play poker. Well, in certain situations I do. Most of the time, there's not a whole lot going on. And I should be paying attention to the other players and what's going on, but I've always had trouble with that. Oh, whoops. This is a rebuy. I should have rebought. Now I can't. Definitely cold here. This guy made a pretty loose call right there. Actually, a very loose call. I don't exactly know what made him think that was the right play. And this guy limped. Probably doesn't mean a lot, but this guy shoved. He's probably got to have something. Because this guy limped. Not necessarily. I've definitely shoved with not a lot in that spot, but it probably has something. I wouldn't think it's aces, but is king queen really worth a call right there? Even, you know, I'm still behind and the limper's still behind too. I mean, it's not likely either of us have something, but it needs to be taken into consideration. The limper could have aces or something like that. So, man, I'm pretty disappointed I lost that 100K. It was the one tournament that I was in that was still really exciting for me to go deep into. Well, it'd be exciting to go deep in another one of these tournaments, but that's the only one where a big cash really. It's a lot different winning the 100K than winning a 10K. I'll just say that, put it that way. I thought I was doing pretty well in it too after I hit one 2-outer, I guess. Any other tournaments? Yes, there is, but I don't know. There's one that's a $4 rebuy. It's almost too small for me to play. And then there's a $100 rebuy that I just don't know if I want to play that big today. Huh. I could make a squeeze play here. 1,000 in the pot. I don't think I'm going to. Could also have just called there too. One of my big reasons for not squeezing there is because I had no stats on the players, or no read on the players. I mean, a squeeze might have been the right play there, but I had no real reason of making the squeeze other than the hand kind of set up in a decent opportunity to do it. I had no read on it. And it's kind of a risky play, so. Again, my nit-ish tendency is coming out. I don't think nit-ish is a word, but me acting like a nit. Not a ton going on right now. I can't do anything with that. Yeah, as I'm thinking about it, this will probably be my last video for today. Unless I decide to play. Man, everything's so late. Like, these tournaments just start so much later now that I'm in the Midwest that it feels like I've been grinding forever because it's 6:30. But normally this would be like, it would feel like it's pretty early in my grind. Even just getting dark outside now. It's pretty much dark. It'd feel like it's like kind of, you know, afternoon of my grind, and you know, all the evening tournaments are starting, but they're not really evening tournaments anymore. I mean, the tournament I normally start playing at what is it? The let me find it here. Yeah, now it's the 9K guaranteed, the $33 freeze out on Lock. It doesn't start for almost another hour. So it's just like, just feels like it's all starting so late, and then when I enter them, it's like, I know I'm gonna have to play it until even later, so it makes me not really want to. I'm not used to playing so late into the night that I'm like, I don't know if I'm up for it. And I don't know if I am today or not. I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, there'll be a couple more tournaments I'll sign up for today, but I don't think I'm going to sign up for many of those evening tournaments. I'm still kind of out of practice. I haven't been playing a ton, especially multi-tables. I haven't played a lot either. The last time I played multi-tables was 2 weeks ago, and I didn't play that many of them, and then before that it was probably like a month. So yeah, I'm definitely out of practice. Ooh, I can read by now. And I don't know if I have the stamina I've had in the past. And I don't think I'm playing super sharp. I've had a couple good plays. I've also had some very questionable plays. I feel like I gotta take some stab at this pot, but yeah, I left myself very vulnerable to a light call right there. Check that fast. Well, I don't love this play, but I'm more than double up if it works. It didn't work. Oh, I hit the king. Yeah, I left myself vulnerable to a really light call right there with that first bet. I should have just shoved on the flop probably. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm playing all that well, and I feel like I probably played that hand pretty bad. Problem was my stack was really awkward, and I probably just played it poorly pre-flop was really my first mistake. I didn't really think about how to play my stack size post-flop. Yeah, there's over 1,000 in the pot. And I feel like it's going to work quite often. And this is a turbo, so I can't really just sit around. Although that does make people more often going to call me. So yeah, now I'm only playing 4, so I don't know if you guys like this more or like me playing 6 more. I'm sure this is a lot easier for you guys to see, and it's probably better because of that, but I don't have as much to talk about. I can get a little bit more in depth, but when I'm used to playing 6, I'm not really getting any more in depth, I don't think. In fact, I think I've been a lot more silent because I've been eating my dinner. Although it's not really much of a dinner. feel like. I don't know if that's because I'm card dead or because I'm playing. I don't know, looking at all these hands are pretty bad. Just gonna fold. I mean, my stack size says it's push or fold. I didn't want to push, so I fold. I don't know if I should be pushing there or not. I think it's pretty borderline. Hands like Queen 10 and like Queen Jack, it's just, I think they're really good to push in some situations. But borderline situations, I really don't like shoving with them because hands like this. Because although I hit the nuts, hands like King, Queen, and stuff, if those hands have much of a chance of calling you, I feel like you've got fold hands like Queen 10 and Queen Jack, because you're just getting like the worst possible odds you could, in the sense of all the hands that are crushing you are going to call. Pretty much all the hands you're crushing are going to fold. And you know, you'll have open cards not really that often, you know, maybe against Ace King, against, you know, Ace Jack in that particular situation, you know, Ace 9 or whatever. But it's not like those are good spots, you're still behind. You know, you'll be a coin flip occasionally, it's just, when you do get called, your odds are really not good. So, if you're going to shove with hands like Queen Jack, then don't do a borderline of hands like King Queen and Queen Jack have a good chance of calling you. That's my 2 cents about it, because I just come across that situation so often where like I'll have like Queen 10 just like that, and I'll be like, I should probably shove here. But when I can't get Queen Jack off, it's like, well, every hand that crushes me is going to call, and that's the exact situation I don't want to get in if I shove. And the reason I shove hands like 3s is because that's not happening to me very often, and I have when I do get called, I have so many coin flip opportunities to, you know, get back into this thing. So this is my quick analysis of shoving with those hands, I guess. Now, there's lots of situations where you definitely should anyways, but if you're in like middle position, or, you know, there's a good chance of someone having a solid hand but maybe not a dominant hand after you, and, you know, you're really not forced to make a play at that point. To me, it makes a lot of sense to fold, but it's just me. Here I want to go all in because the turbo, I feel like he's going to fold a lot, and I just feel like my equity's pretty good. Well, he called, but my equity's still pretty good. No, not anymore. Well, I haven't been doing so well. I don't think I'm playing my best poker. I also think I mean, I don't think I'm playing all that well. I'm playing winning poker, and things haven't quite gone my way, but I think I have a lot of things I could have done better. I don't know specifically what they are, but just my overall sense of how I'm doing is not, I'm not doing amazing, I'll put it that way. I'm not very articulate today either, I don't think. Although, am I ever really articulate? Just in a room talking to myself. Oh man, it feels kind of ridiculous when I think of it that way, but oh well. Here's a good hand. And why I raise this much? Because it feels like the right amount to raise. can't tell I'm getting a little tired. I've been playing for 4 hours or whatever. And my stamina is not what it used to be. Yeah, I think after this video I'm just gonna keep grinding, but I'll put on some music and start doing something other than just talking to myself for hours. Super Turbo. I want to get on my chips in somehow with this hand and a Super Turbo. Against 2 people, I don't want to mess around. Sometimes I like messing around because there's 2 people, but on a flop like this, I don't really want to mess around. So I want to get all my chips in the middle. I'm going to make this raise because it might be a mistake, because I'll give someone a chance to just hit an overcard or something. Probably is a mistake. Probably should have just shoved it. I don't think I'm really enticing many hands to come along because of this. I hate this raise here. It looks so strong. But I can't fold this hand in a Super Turbo. But like Ace King is what I'm hoping for almost, or maybe 10s. Yeah, Ace King. But that raise right there was screaming, I have a really good hand I want you to come along with me with, you know, like, he made it pretty obvious he had something pretty good, and I thought Ace King was about the bottom of his range. I mean, if he had a weaker hand and was didn't want me to come along, he would have gone all in. If he had a hand he was kind of unsure about, he was either going to go all in or call if he had a hand he was somewhat sure about. But raising like that is just like, I have a really strong hand and I want to raise, but I want to entice you to stay in. So it was just kind of obvious. I had such a strong hand I can never fold. I mean, even if he has aces, I almost feel like I just got to go with it. If he did have aces, if I saw him have aces, I think the right play is to fold, but it's not that far off to call there. You know, if he has Ace King won in like 5 times or something, and he has aces all the other times, I think it's the right call. I'm not sure, but probably pretty close to something like that. Because you got to remember, when you are beat a dominator like that, still technically have equity in the pot. I mean, 20% equity doesn't sound all that great, but if you've been sucked out on before, you realize how much 20% equity can be sometimes. Okay, oops. I'm looking for a couple new tournaments. I'll play this $4 one. Actually, I don't want to play this $4 one. I'll be playing it forever, and it's just not going to be worth it. I'm really looking for turbos at this point for the most part, because this one actually looks like a pretty good one and it's not a turbo. Because I'm kind of winding down my grind, I think. So I don't want to play something that's small that's going to last way longer than everything else, and also I'll be stuck playing just that tournament for another, you know, just one tournament. It's just not a good use of my time. Got things to do, I guess. I actually do now. I have lots of things to do, but you know, today's my poker day. But I don't want to just sit grind one tournament. It's kind of tilting when you're playing one really small tournament or 2 really small tournaments, but like you feel like you can't get away from them because you still have equity in the tournaments, and if you win, you'll get like $600-700 or something, which is nice. But if you're gonna play them, you got to play them for another 2 hours, and that's all you want to do. You don't want to sign up for a new one because you know that one is gonna last even longer. So it puts you in this really weird situation. You don't want to fire out and kind of just try to take it down. Also, just probably have the best hand. So I like to look for turbos at the end of my grind, because turbos you never feel like they're gonna take forever. This is weird. I feel like one of them got an overpair. Now, I kind of want to call because of my gut shot. I think I'm gonna call because of my gut shot. Now, my gut shot's a little obvious. If I hit it, I'm actually gonna fire it out because I feel like that's gonna make this guy have to. If he has like, it just looks less obvious if I bet and then raise him than if. Oh wow, it's not exactly the card I wanted to come on the river. How many people are playing a 7 here though? Unless this pocket 7s, I don't think either had this. Or 6 7s is actually pretty reasonable hand. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I had a stupid bet. That was such a bad bet. It was, if 6-7 wasn't possible, that bet's not too bad. But 6-7 is such a reasonable hand for him to have in that situation, or even 7-5, that it just makes as if it's just terrible. If 7s was the only hand that he could have and hit that straight with, then yeah, you know, it's not that often they're both gonna have 7s, and you know, they're having to call me for a chop. That, you know, it's kind of hard to do that. And you know, if I have the 7, I'm not gonna fold to a raise like that probably. I might, but 7-8. Who was calling with 7-8 right there? Yeah, 7-8 would have been really weird. Or wait, am I getting the hand mixed up? No, 7-8 wouldn't have been. God, I got that all backwards. Man. 7-8 was a reasonable hand too. I shouldn't even called the first bet because of how reasonable 7-8 was. Because, I mean, the flop there's a 5 and a 6, so that gives you 5, 6, 7, 8. I played that hand horribly. Oh, that's disgusting. I just didn't really think it through. That's really sad. I mean, it's not like I lost an amazing amount of chips, it's just I should have gotten away from, like, any decent player should not have lost that many chips on that spot. And when you do, it hurts when you know you lost a bunch of chips you shouldn't have lost, and you're better than that. It just doesn't feel good to know you gave away that much equity when honestly your edge isn't really that small in this game, or isn't that big in this game, even when you are better than everybody else. Which I am not better than everybody else, just I'm better than enough people. Well, wow, this tournament is not going my way. That's just a cooler. But, ugh. If I didn't play the first hand so bad, I still have like 1,500, I think. So, I can't be that mad at the well, coolers suck, but this tournament's just not going my way. Oh. Oh. Well, I wish I would have ended the video a little bit before that so you guys didn't have to see me make such a bad mistake and then lose almost all my chips on like the very next hand almost. Oh well. Gotta stay focused and try to win my money back in something. I'm starting to get... I'm not getting short in this... I'm getting kind of short in this tournament, but also... I mean, I got double starting stack, and I'm almost just folding my way back to the starting stack. Which is what feels like happens to me on Bodog too often. Maybe I play too tight on Bodog for some reason. I almost know I do. I probably play too tight rather than too loose, and on most of my mistakes are mistakes of playing too tight rather than too loose. It's kind of a complicated thing to say and really discuss all the caveats of that, but if I say it very generally, that's where most mistakes are. I lose a lot of opportunities that I could take advantage of because of how tight I play. But I don't know what the right situations are necessarily to take advantage of it, or I have a hard time with that, so I can't just loosen up and expect things to get better. I have to do that in a smart way, a controlled way. Well, I definitely got to go with this, but the question is, do I call or do I raise? I probably got to go all in because I want overcards out. Yeah, I don't want to entice kind of like king queen to stay in. Well, he has king queen. And I get those chips that I folded away back. I think this is a shove. In a super turbo, this is a shove. You can't just sit around and fold in a super turbo and expect to do well. That's for sure. This is probably a shove in a normal tournament, but I'm just saying the blinds are really big, even though I haven't been playing it for that long. I mean, this guy probably should have called with just about anything. Maybe you can fold deuce 3 and stuff there, but I don't even know if that's right. I mean, even if you see my hand calling with deuce 3 there, probably is correct. Yeah, it's probably correct to fold deuce 3 there, but it's just, I mean, he threw away how many of his chips with 600 out of 1700 or something? That's not to mention the odds he had because of all the other money in the pot. So yeah, I think you just had to have a 1/3 chance of taking out the pot, and it's the right call. Plus, when the very next hand you're in the small blind, you pretty much have to go with it anyways. Why not just go with it in the big blind? When you actually double up, you'll have way more chips, you know. Now, if you're in the small blind in that situation, there's a little bit of something, at least in my opinion, to say about you can fold the small blind there, and then you only have to throw out an ante for the next 8 hands, and hopefully you can pick up something decent in the next 8 hands that you can go with. But I mean, that's, you know, I don't know, that's something I've done before, definitely. I'll fold a small blind where I have really good odds because I think, frankly, I got 8 more hands to look at if I fold this. I don't know if that's correct. Some situations it probably is, some situations probably not. Yeah, I apologize. The quality of this video probably isn't quite what the quality of the first one was. I'm obviously gotten a little sick and tired of talking, and my mind's actually getting a little fried talking so much, so I got another 10 minutes to go on this one before the next break, and then I'll probably just stop it, and hopefully I'll be able to upload these videos that are an hour long. I still haven't quite gotten it figured out, but somebody told me some stuff that's some ways that I can do it, which was really nice, and I appreciate that. I don't have your screen name up right now, but whoever you were, I'm giving you a shout out, so thanks. I think it's, what was your screen name? I think it was Crick's Chips. I think you were the one who explained to me how to do it, so I appreciate that a lot. I might have gotten that mixed up. It might have been somebody else who told me, and if it wasn't, or if it was, I apologize, but I tried to give you a shout out at least. And if I get this uploaded, you'll know I was successful. If if I don't get this uploaded, I guess you'll never get the shout out because it didn't work. And because the video never got up. So this is the new tournament I added. It's a turbo, but it's also a rebind add-on. So this one will last a while. But turbos always feel like they're going at a pace where if you're trying to get done with your day, you never really get tilted by a turbo. I don't think. At least I don't. Oof. What a weird situation, in my opinion. It's like a hand that it doesn't really play that good heads up. This is kind of a strange play, but I feel like when someone raises, they'll probably be willing to call, or they'll just shove. Okay, it probably would have happened the same way whether I raised or not, but I felt like it gave me a little bit better odds because it's a rebuy. People are willing to put in a lot of chips. Someone raises. If I raise a little bit more, I don't think people are going to be too afraid to throw in the last whatever part of their stack because it's a rebuy. Although it's only one rebuy, so maybe they would have been a little bit more timid. Here I'm just going to call. I guess I'm trying to entice, but I think that's a little obvious. But what can I do? I can entice or I can shove. It looks pretty much the same. I think this just looks a little bit more like I'm just, not quite thinking about it as much. I think this looks a little bit weaker, but it's basically the same thing. It's a whole psychology thing, I think, is which one is actually going to get people to call you more. It's all will be a psychology type thing. This would be awesome. This would give me a great start in this tournament. Yeah. Wow. That was a horrible play by you, by the way. Baby Jacks. What? Why are you throwing 6,000 chips at 105 that you have in the pot? I didn't even really realize how... I mean, this play with 10s was really crazy. What's he trying to win there? I just took advantage of two horrible plays, and now I'm the chip leader. But basically, this guy raised, this guy 3-bet. Okay, you can 3-bet, that's fine. But why throw out all of your chips to try to win whatever that was out there? I mean... You're throwing 3,000 chips at 200. It just makes no sense. You're only going to get called by... Well, I guess you're not only going to get called by better hands, but you're not going to get called by anything that's worse. So why are you doing that? And then this guy, ace-queen, what is he hoping I have? I mean, ace-king, aces, kings, queens. Really the only hands I'm doing that with. I'm not doing that with ace-queen, I know that. I'm not doing that with ace-king, but I guess some people could do that with ace-king, but I definitely wouldn't. So it's like aces and kings and queens. Queens, I still probably wouldn't do that. But maybe I would. I mean, there's a chance. Some players definitely would, I think. Well, I guess this guy shoved so crazy. I probably would do that with ace-king. Ace-queen I definitely would not call there, I don't think. I was thinking about a different thing when I first going through it. So, aces, I'm definitely doing that. Kings, I'm definitely doing that. Queens, I'm doing that. Ace-king, I'm doing that. Jacks are borderline. I probably am with jacks, but I'm not very happy about it. Tens, I'm probably not. So this guy's play is obviously pretty bad because he's just hoping I have ace-king and it's a coin flip. And this guy, he's just killed by every one of my hands except kings and queens. He's got a couple of outs. And ace-king, he's got a couple of outs. It's like... I don't know. Those are just bad plays by both those guys. I mean, I guess they almost ended up in a coin flip against each other, but... Why are you throwing out 3,000 chips to try to end up in a coin flip? And if I had jacks or tens, this guy would have looked, not this guy, but the guy who was here would have looked pretty smart, I guess, but he wouldn't have been very smart. It would have still been a pretty bad time to try to get... It's just a bad play. There's no reason going into it further. It was just played poorly by them. And I benefited from it, so... If I do make a final table or something, I'll probably make another video of that. Because those can be kind of fun to watch, I guess. So, I don't know if I will or not. I might. I do have some more of the Super Turbo Sitn'Goes recorded that I haven't quite uploaded yet, and I plan on recording some more of those. I'm also doing some just Turbo Sitn'Goes soon, hopefully. What am I doing? Why did I get down to 8? Oh my gosh. Don't stop watching Super Turbos. That's a mistake. There's my parting advice. Don't stop watching when you're playing a Super Turbo. Keep an eye on those tournaments because you get real short really fast. Anyways, I've been playing some regular Turbos, Heads Up Sitn'Goes. I really like the pace of those a lot more for videos, and if I can post longer videos, I definitely want to start uploading some of those. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I think this is going to be my last video of the Sunday grind, unless I might decide to pick it up later if I need to, or maybe a final table will come. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you want more videos, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.